Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Emma from Emma Knitty, and today I will be talking to you about the Sentro knitting machine. This has been the must-have craft item of the last 6 to 12 months. You will have seen a lot of people on TikTok and on Instagram Reels making stuff using Sentro knitting machines, usually things like time-lapse videos or slow motion videos, endless scarves, hats, beanies, all sorts of things, even pumpkins. And I was lucky enough to receive one of these for Christmas a few days ago. So I'm going to give you today an honest review of the Sentro knitting machine. This is not a tutorial on how to use a Sentro. I want to make that clear. I will be doing a tutorial video really soon, however. So let's get started. I want to talk about positives and negatives. This is a really nice thing to play with. First of all, if you like satisfying, quick projects, you're going to really enjoy using the Sentro. It's one of those things that when you start using, you think, oh my goodness, this is so addictive. And you start winding the handle, which is right here, by the way, and you can make a lot of stuff in a very short time. If you're wanting to get a lot of useful things like making scarves quickly. Imagine if your child or a kid has lost their scarf at school, typical thing that happens, and you really need some accessories super quickly. This is going to be really good fun. And of course, mentioning children, kids are going to have a lot of fun with the Sentro as well, because you have to set it up maybe for kids. You can just help them with that, but once they're all set up, they're just going to be winding the handle and having a lot of fun with it. So it's quite user-friendly even for children as well. It is the kind of thing, when you first get it, you look at your yarn and think, oh my goodness, what can I make next with this? So that's really great. Talking about looking at your yarn, if you are a knitter or a crocheter, you will know that it's really difficult sometimes to reduce the size of your stash. If you're like me and you're a designer, you probably have a lot of scrap yarn lying around. Now, we all have our different uses for scrap yarn. I like making scrappy blankets, granny blankets, or things like this. But sometimes it's just impossible to get through it all. This is a great way of using up yarn, making maybe a magic ball, and going through your yarn stash super quickly, using up those odds and ends, and making some really nice stuff at the end. Another positive about this is that it's quite portable. If you want to take it to a friend's house and have some fun with it, you can. This is a 40 needle machine. You can get a bigger version and you can get a smaller version as well, I believe. But it's good for relaxing, it's good for a satisfying and quick project, and you can make a lot of things in a very short time, and also great for reducing your stash. So I need to say, first of all, that this machine is quite fussy with the yarn that it needs. You will not be able to use any yarn weight that is above Aran with this. Why? Well, because it will break it. I haven't mentioned this to anybody online because I was holding it in for this video, but I actually managed to break my machine the other day. I managed to fix this, thank goodness, with some nail glue, which worked really well. But be very careful. Use DK weight, use fine weight, sport weight, fingering weight, lace weight yarn, and don't test it out with anything higher than that unless you want to have a horrible surprise. A lot of people have messaged me over the last few days since I've been posting constantly about this, saying, oh my goodness, I've always wanted to learn how to knit, but I'm really scared, or I'm really bored by it, or I can't get the hang of it, so I'm going to get a Sentro. Hand knitting is a totally different beast. Hand knitting involves different skills, certainly more skills than turning a handle. The only thing in common that it has with knitting is literally the way that the fabric is formed with loops. So don't use this as a substitute for hand knitting. Whether you feel strongly about hand knitting as a craft as much as I do, if you follow me on social media, you know that I'm always defending knitting because it gets a lot of stick. This is just a tool to make endless tubes or panels. It is not a substitute for hand knitting. Aside from those things, I'm really happy with the Sentro machine. Personally, I really like it. It's a really nice way of spending an evening. It's a little bit noisy to use when you're watching Netflix. You might have to turn your volume up a bit when you're using this. I would say it's more a good item if you're not planning on having anything in the background you need to concentrate on, whether it's your podcast, your Netflix, or whatever you want to do. But all in all, this is a really great machine. It makes a great gift. It's good for children to get involved in crafting. You get interested looks from your family like, wow, that's amazing. How does that work? So thank you for watching. Happy Centroing, and I will see you soon in my next video.